Toothless!
Me away!
Dreamworks' How to Train Your Dragon's huge popularity has earned it a place at Universal's Epic Universe. But did you know that this is far from the first time that Toothless and his fellow dragons have found their way into a theme park? The original How to Train Your Dragon film, inspired by the book series of the same name by British author Cressida Cowell, was written and directed by ex-Disney animators Chris Sanders and Dean DuBois. If you're a big Lilo and Stitch fan, these names are probably rather familiar, as Lilo and Stitch was Sanders and DuBois' directorial debut. In fact, Sanders actually provided the voice for Stitch, although he won't be taking the role in the new live-action film. The duo never talked badly of their time at Disney, and Sanders actually continues to provide a voice for the animated version of Stitch if Disney ever needs it. But in 2007, following some creative differences, the duo did leave. How to Train Your Dragon was the first idea they brought to Dreamworks, and in 2010, this film was ready to be released and became an immediate hit. Dean DuBois wrote and directed the next two films, with Sanders as producer. In fact, DuBois has even written and directed the 2025 live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, and again, Sanders is a producer. I must also quickly mention here that just last year, Chris Sanders wrote and directed The Wild Robot, with DuBois as producer. I mention this for no other reason than to implore you to watch it if you haven't yet, but be sure to keep a box of tissues close by. With 4 films released from 2010 until now, How to Train Your Dragon has found the kind of sustained success that most companies can only dream of for their franchises. For Dreamworks, it's their biggest hit since Shrek as far as critics and audiences are concerned. Popularity can lead to lots of things, and most notably for us theme park fans, it can very often lead to an IP finding its way into one of our beloved parks. It actually took until May 2016 for How to Train Your Dragon to find its way into a theme park, when the German theme park Heide Park opened up a new area called How to Train Your Dragon: The Island. With a rather small footprint, this themed area is exactly what you'd expect to see from a small park bringing in an IP like this. By that I mean, it's not the immersion you'd expect from Disney or Universal, but it's very, very cute and was more than enough to please me when I first visited a few years ago. This area is home to 4 attractions, a whopping 3 of which invite you to fly like a dragon. Although I suppose there's not really much of a better match to theme most flat rides around. Grovian's Vulcan Springer, which translates to Gobber's Cloud Jumper, is a Junior Jets ride which allows the smallest dragon trainers to fly on a little dragon. Roughness and Toughness's Vasselflieger, which translates to Roughnut and Toughnut Seaplane, is a jet ride the same as Cloud Jumper but for bigger trainers. Then there's Hicks Himmelstrummer, which translates to Hiccup Sky Striker. This is a Zamperla Giant Sky Chaser, which is supposed to be made from colourful objects from the Isle of Berk to provide a flight school for all future dragon riders. The final attraction, which actually isn't focused on flying, is Draken Grotto, meaning Dragon Grotto. This is a scenic boat ride into the Forbidden Grotto, in which you meet many characters from the franchise. This land also has a Toothless meet and greet, but I must note that it doesn't look quite as impressive as the dragons we've seen testing at Universal's Epic Universe. The park also offers How to Train Your Dragon themed rooms in their hotel. Obviously, I'm not going to claim that this is the best themed land I've ever seen, but for a park like Heide Park, I really do think it's an excellent children's area. Now, How to Train Your Dragon's next entry into the world of theme parks was definitely a bit of a step up.
And action!
Imagine a world where dreams come alive. From the most magnificent creatures to the most epic features. Capturing memories that will last forever. Motiongate Dubai, where movies come to life.
Opening just a few months after Heide Park's How to Train Your Dragon area, in December 2016, a brand new theme park called Motiongate opened in Dubai. This park takes a Hollywood theme and has areas themed after different media companies and franchises, one of which is Dreamworks Animation. all located inside to protect guests from the harsh Dubai heat. This is home to areas based on Shrek, Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, and of course How to Train Your Dragon. Themed to look like the Isle of Berk, this indoor area is home to a quick service called Dragon Grill, which offers Indian food, a water play area called Camp Viking, and 2 rides. There is a swinging Viking, a pirate ship ride, and dragon gliders, which is currently by far the best How to Train Your Dragon ride in the world. In fact, it's probably the best ride at Motiongate. A big issue that we have with this park is that some of its theming is pretty poor. The Dreamworks area in general is probably the best themed area of the park, and Dragon Gliders is definitely the park's most complete attraction. Dragon Gliders is a powered inverted roller coaster created by Mack Rides. If you've ever been to Europa Park, you'll be familiar with Arthur, which utilizes the same ride system. This system makes for an incredibly unique experience, but the fun doesn't stop there. The actual theming of Dragon Gliders is pretty great too. On this ride, Dragon Riders learn to fly with film characters Hiccup, Toothless, Astrid, and Stormfly, as they take an exhilarating journey to the secret Forbidden Isles. With animatronics, projections, and onboard audio to tell its story, this attraction really is excellent. Plus, in this area, you can also meet Hiccup, Toothless, and Astrid. The next park to bring us into the world of How to Train Your Dragon was actually not a theme park, but rather a water park.
North America's largest indoor water park is minutes from Manhattan at American Dream. Over 40 rides and slides, private cabanas, dining and drink options, and always 85 degrees. Get your tickets now for Dreamworks Water Park.
In 2020, Dreamworks Water Park, an indoor water park within the American Dream shopping and entertainment complex, opened. There were only 2 attractions here themed to How to Train Your Dragon when the park first opened. There was Dragon Racers, a mat racer slide, and Toothless's Trickling Torpedo, a 1,600-foot-long hydromagnetic roller coaster. Sadly, these have since been renamed and rethemed to Trolls Rainbow Racer and the Dreamworks Dream Runner, so currently there's no How to Train Your Dragon theming at this water park. Other than that, How to Train Your Dragon currently has a small meet and greet at Shrek's Adventure here in the UK. With that, our Dragon Flight brings us to the Universal Parks. For a long time, How to Train Your Dragon hasn't had much of a presence within the Universal Parks, despite Universal Pictures' ownership of DreamWorks Animation. To promote How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World in 2019, Universal Studios Florida did briefly have a limited-time virtual reality experience, where guests could experience riding on Toothless. And Universal Studios Hollywood had a promotional meet and greet with Toothless. It took until Universal Studios opened Universal Beijing in 2021 for them to bring a permanent How to Train Your Dragon attraction to one of their parks. Located in the park's Boulevard area is Untrainable, an immersive How to Train Your Dragon themed stage show with large-scale puppets and sets. And this looks absolutely incredible, which is good news for any of us that like visiting the Orlando parks. More on that in just a minute. For a long time, that was all there was for us How to Train Your Dragon theme park fans to enjoy. But thankfully, an announcement from Universal in January 2024 would finally confirm that this is changing, as it was revealed that the heavily rumoured How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk would in fact be one of the 5 lands to open at Universal Florida's 4th theme park, Epic Universe.
We're creating an experience that is going to bring joy to millions of people who come to Epic Universe and the Isle of Berk.
So, with an opening of May the 22nd, 2025, what can we Dragon trainers expect to see? Set after the events of the first film, this portal invites us into the Isle of Berk, where we will be greeted by a lagoon full of Viking ships. The star of the land will be Hiccup's Wing Gliders, an Intamin-launched family roller coaster themed to dragon training. The story goes that Hiccup has designed a winged flying machine that launches aspiring dragon riders into the air, swooping and soaring and encountering Hiccup and Toothless along the way. Then there is Fire Drill, a Mack interactive boat ride, on which guests will be able to blast water cannons at flame-like targets and of course, passengers on the other boats. The story of this one is that Viking twins Roughnut and Toughnut have transformed Berk's Fire School into an interactive boat battle to train us how to fight the dragon's flames. The final ride is Dragon's Racers Rally. to Gerstlauer Skyflies, themed around the sport of dragon racing. Here, Vikings can practice aerobatic maneuvers and high-speed barrel rolls on a Viking-made dragon riding trainer, in hopes to become a champion dragon racer. There is also an outdoor play area, Viking training camp, and the Haddock Paddock, a meet and greet area where we will be able to meet Hiccup and Toothless or Astrid and Stormfly. There will also be other Vikings and dragons roaming the Isle. Plus, if you watch the skies, you might spot a dragon flying overhead. In fact, the Viking village is set to feature 30 animated and static dragons, representing 17 unique dragon species throughout the world. The final entertainment offering is the stage show The Untrainable Dragon, the same show as is on offer at Universal Beijing. In this show, a new dragon shows up on the Isle of Berk, and the Vikings think they've finally met their match. But Hiccup and Toothless, with the help from Gober and Astrid, work together to solve the mystery of the untrainable dragon. In the show, Toothless will soar above the audience, weighing in at 1,157 pounds and with a wingspan of nearly 27 feet, which all sounds incredibly impressive. Finally, the portal will be home to 3 different eateries. Hooligan's Grog and Gruel, a snack stall with festive racing-themed food to fuel the dragon racing champions. Spitfire Grill, a quick service located in a bustling traders market, which will offer delectable Viking fare from all across the sea. The variety of meats on offer here will be flame-seared by a helpful, unseen dragon fry cook. Last of all, there is Mead Hall, another quick service, located inside the very impressive Viking Hall. Here we are invited to eat and drink like a Viking in Berk's main gathering place, a grand chamber built from mountain rock. Excitingly, it is here that we will finally be able to try Yaknog, a drink created by Astrid in the 2011 short film Gift of the Night Fury. You'll also be able to stay in a How to Train Your Dragon themed room at the new Grand Helios Hotel. There's so much to look forward to from Epic Universe's Isle of Berk, but honestly, what I'm most excited for is finally seeing all the new technology they have developed to bring the dragons to life. I'd love to hear what you're most excited for, so let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos and the links in the description, and I'll see all you dragon trainers in the Isle of Berk.